All right. The January 2025 Visa Bulletin, it's finally here.
It is.
And you know what?
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster.
Right.
Good news, bad news, and a whole lot of, wait, what? But that's what we're here for, right?
Exactly.
To break it all down.
Absolutely.
So let's dive in.
Okay.
Starting with the employment-based categories. You know, the folks coming to the U.S., bringing their skills, their talent to work.
Right.
So if you are a skilled professional from India,
Okay.
EB2 or EB3 category,
Right.
you've been waiting years probably
Oh, yeah.
for your priority date to become current.
Mm-hmm.
What's the news? What's this bulletin have for you?
Well, for those in EB2 India, the date moved forward 2 months
Okay.
to October 1st, 2012.
Right.
And for EB2 China, it moved up just 1 month to April 22nd, 2020.
Okay, so progress, but man, it's
Well,
slow, right?
It is.
It's like watching paint dry.
It is.
But tell me this. Why is the rest of the world category for EB2 moving so much faster? Their priority date is April 1st, 2023.
Well, you know, it all comes down to those backlogs.
Yeah.
India and China have historically had the highest demand,
Yeah.
leading to those long, long wait times.
Okay.
The rest of the world just doesn't have that same level of demand.
Okay. So less people.
Exactly.
More visas to go around.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Now, I have heard whispers
Ooh.
about a potential big jump in EB2 visas
Okay.
come spring 2025.
Yeah.
Is there anything to that? Could that happen?
Well, it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Okay.
Still speculation at this point.
Okay.
But if it does happen, that would mean a huge leap forward,
Huge.
especially for those stuck in those backlogs.
Okay. All right, let's move over to EB3
Okay.
for skilled workers and professionals. We saw some movement here, but not as much as I think a lot of people were hoping for.
Right.
EB3 India went forward just 3 weeks
Yeah.
to December 1st, 2012.
Right.
While EB3 China had, well, a bit of a bigger jump, 2 months, to June 1st, 2020.
So while movement is good,
Yes.
it's important to remember that EB3,
Yeah.
especially for other workers,
Mm-hmm.
is notoriously slow.
Yeah.
It's not just high demand.
Right.
The visa quotas, they're much smaller compared to skilled workers.
Okay.
So even if you've got the skills, getting in, it's like trying to squeeze through a really narrow doorway.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm in that other workers category
Mm-hmm.
and I'm feeling discouraged, what can I do? Is it even worth hoping for things to speed up?
Well, you know, don't lose hope yet.
Okay.
If you have some flexibility
Okay.
with your job title or maybe your description,
Mm-hmm.
there might be a way out. You could talk to an immigration attorney,
Okay.
see if you qualify for that skilled workers category.
Okay.
It could be a game changer.
So strategic career moves
Exactly.
might be in order. All right, let's shift gears. Family-based categories.
Okay.
All about families reuniting.
Right.
And, you know, I'm seeing a friend here.
Oh, yeah. These family-based categories,
Yeah.
they're moving faster
Okay.
than those employment-based ones. What's going on there?
Well, I think the government's finally realizing that, you know, families matter,
Okay.
but there's also the backlogs.
Okay.
In some family-based categories, they're not as severe.
Okay, so less people waiting,
Exactly.
more visas to go around. Gotcha.
Exactly.
But let's break it down.
Okay.
What's happening in each family-based category?
Okay, so starting with F1, unmarried sons and daughters of U.S. citizens. The rest of the world category moved forward by a month
Okay.
to November 22nd, 2015.
Okay.
The Philippines saw a week's progress,
All right.
reaching March 8th, 2012.
Okay, baby steps, but hey, they're going in the right direction.
They are.
What about F2B?
All right, so F2B,
Unmarried sons and daughters of permanent residents.
right, rest of the world saw a 3-week jump
Good.
to May 22nd, 2016. Still slow,
Yeah.
but even a small advancement can be huge.
For families waiting to be together.
I get it. Every bit of progress counts.
Absolutely.
Okay, but let's talk about where we're seeing some serious movement.
Okay.
What's happening with F3 and F4?
All right, so F3, married sons and daughters of U.S. citizens.
Mm-hmm.
They saw some jumps.
Okay.
Mexico, a whole month forward
Wow.
to November 22nd, 2000.
Okay.
The Philippines saw a 2-month jump
Right?
to November 8th, 2002.
Okay.
And the rest of the world advanced 2 months and 16 days
Wow.
to July 1st, 2010.
All right, some families are celebrating.
I would say so.
Popping champagne. Okay, but wait, there's more. What about F4?
All right, hold on to your hats for F4,
Okay.
especially for India and the Philippines.
Okay.
India's date jumped a whole month to April 8th, 2006.
All right.
Well, the Philippines saw a 3-month leap
Wow.
to May 1st, 2004.
All right, so some serious movement in those family-based categories.
Big time.
But you know what? All these advancements,
Yeah.
they depend on one crucial piece of the puzzle.
Right. Your National Visa Center.
Right.
That's where the magic happens, right?
It is.
Tell me, what goes on behind the scenes at the NVC?
It's the central processing hub for all those immigrant visa applications.
Okay.
Think of it as a giant sorting machine.
Okay.
They collect documents, they run background checks,
Oh.
they schedule interviews at U.S. embassies and consulates worldwide.
So they're like the traffic cops
Yeah.
of the visa world.
Exactly.
Making sure everything's flowing smoothly.
And keeping things moving.
But I heard a rumor
Okay.
only 8 government employees handle all those visa cases.
Yeah.
Is that true?
It is true.
8 people.
8 people.
That's mind-boggling.
That's a lot of applications.
Millions of applications.
It is.
That's one of the reasons why things are so slow.
It is a factor.
But there is some good news, right?
There is.
Over 700 contractors have been brought in to help with that backlog.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a relief.
Yeah.
So what does this mean for our listeners?
For those waiting for their visas.
Well, things are about to get a lot busier in a good way.
Okay.
We're likely to see a significant increase in interviews being scheduled, visas being issued, especially after spring 2025.
Okay. So a glimmer of hope
Absolutely.
in what can often feel like a painfully slow process.
Right.
But even with all this,
Yeah,
there's still uncertainty.
there is.
So what can applicants do to be proactive?
Well, my top advice,
Okay.
don't wait until your priority date is current.
Okay.
Get your paperwork in order now.
Okay.
Be ready.
Be prepared.
Be prepared. Exactly. Because delays can happen.
Yeah, they do. All right. So preparation is key.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to our deep dive into this January 2025 Visa Bulletin.
Yeah.
We've talked about which categories are moving, which ones are stuck,
Right.
but I want to understand the why.
Yeah.
What's driving these changes?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is the whole debate about legal immigration. You know, what impact does it have on the U.S. economy?
Right.
How does it affect society?
Yeah.
And we're seeing this tug of war, you know, between those who want to limit it, especially for employment-based visas, and those who want to open doors wider.
Yeah. It's a complex issue, strong opinions on both sides,
It is.
and it's definitely playing a role in how these visa categories are moving
Absolutely.
or not moving.
Yeah.
Another thing I'm seeing is this emphasis on skills-based immigration.
Right.
The government seems to be really prioritizing applicants who have skills that are in high demand
Yes.
by U.S. employers. Think high tech, healthcare,
Absolutely.
those sorts of fields.
Right. Because we keep hearing about those labor shortages
Yeah.
in certain industries.
Mm.
So bringing in skilled workers from other countries
Yeah.
could help fill those gaps.
That makes sense. And is that one of the reasons why we're seeing faster movement in categories like EB2,
It could be. Yeah.
which targets those professionals with advanced degrees or exceptional abilities?
Right. If you've got the skills the U.S. needs,
Yeah.
your chances are looking good.
So it's not just about having a job offer anymore. It's about having the right kind of job offer.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
But even within these, you know, skills-based categories,
Yeah.
things are shifting.
Okay.
The demand for specific skills,
Mm-hmm.
it changes all the time.
Right. What's hot today?
Exactly.
They'll be gone tomorrow.
Exactly.
So applicants need to stay informed
Yeah,
about their fields.
absolutely.
Be ready to adapt.
Yes.
Okay. Now, family-based immigration.
Okay.
We've seen some positive movement there,
We have.
but there's always a lot of discussion about how it should work.
Right.
You said earlier that they were moving faster,
Yeah.
but, you know, F2B, unmarried sons and daughters of permanent residents,
Right.
only moved forward 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So does that contradict the idea that these family visas are getting prioritized?
Well, you know, it shows the nuances.
Okay.
Yes, overall they're moving faster,
Okay.
but certain subcategories, like F2B,
Yeah.
face their own bottlenecks. It's like different lanes on a highway.
Okay.
Some are moving, some are stuck in construction.
Gotcha. So maybe it's not about favoring family visas over employment-based ones.
Right.
It's more complicated.
It is. Family-based immigration, it's a core part of U.S. policy,
Okay.
but it's also always being debated.
Yeah.
Some believe it should be limited to just immediate family members, spouses, children, parents.
Okay.
Others believe it should include siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins.
So these different viewpoints.
They influence which categories get attention.
right?
and ultimately how quickly they move.
Okay, so it's not just about crunching numbers
Oh,
and
man.
looking at backlog.
It's about values,
It's about value.
priorities
Right.
that shape immigration policy.
And those values are constantly being debated.
They are.
Okay, so understanding these broader trends,
Yeah.
it can help applicants
Absolutely.
navigate this whole process.
It's like having a roadmap.
Yeah.
That shows you not just the roads, but the political landscape, the cultural forces.
All right, so we've talked about the National Visa Center
Right.
processing those applications,
Mhm.
but they're not the only ones calling the shots, right?
Right.
What about the U.S. embassies and consulates?
Yeah, they're the front lines.
Oh,
They're the ones conducting the interviews, scrutinizing documents,
right.
and ultimately they make that final decision.
So even if my priority date is current, I've got all my paperwork organized thanks to the NVC.
Yep.
I still have to go through that final hurdle
You do. It's the last boss battle
at the embassy.
at the embassy or consulate.
And that experience.
It can vary
Okay.
depending on location,
Yeah.
staffing levels, even local procedures.
It sounds like another layer of complexity
It is.
in an already complex system.
It is.
So any advice for people going into those interviews?
Well, consular officers, they're human beings.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've seen it all.
Okay.
From nervous jitters to over-rehearsed speeches.
Mm-hmm.
My best advice,
Okay.
be authentic.
Okay.
Be prepared, yes.
Yeah.
Have those documents, know your story,
Yeah.
but don't put on a show.
Okay.
Just be yourself.
So honesty and authenticity go a long way.
They do.
Gotcha.
And remember, a little bit of humanity goes a long way.
Okay.
A genuine smile, a respectful demeanor,
Mm-mm-mm.
and a clear explanation of your intentions.
Yeah, that makes sense. But let's be real. This whole process, it can be incredibly stressful.
It is.
It's not just paperwork.
Yeah,
It's about people's lives,
right.
their hopes, their dreams.
Hanging in the balance.
Yeah. And we've been talking about the technical side,
Right.
but I don't want to minimize the emotional roller coaster
No, you're absolutely right.
that this can be.
It can be emotionally draining,
Yeah.
especially for those who have been waiting for years.
Yeah.
Separated from loved ones. It's not just about a stamp.
Mhm.
It's about reuniting families,
Mm-hmm.
building new lives.
Yeah.
And that wait can take a toll.
It's a reminder that behind all these numbers, all these categories, there are real people
Real people
with real emotions.
with real emotions.
Mm.
I've had clients break down in tears of joy
Yeah.
when they finally get that visa.
Mhm.
And I've seen the crushing disappointment
Yeah.
when applications are denied. It's a reminder we're not dealing with paperwork.
Yeah.
We're dealing with people's lives.
We are. And that's something we should never forget.
Absolutely.
But for those who are feeling overwhelmed or discouraged,
Yeah.
I want to offer a message of hope.
Okay.
You are not alone.
You're not alone.
There are resources.
There are
Im-
immigration attorneys,
Yes.
nonprofits,
Yeah.
online communities,
Yeah.
people who understand.
So even though this can feel isolating,
Mm.
you're part of a larger community.
You are. You don't have to go through this alone.
You don't have to. And remember, resilience is key.
It is.
There will be bumps in the road.
There will be.
There will be moments of doubt.
Mhm.
But don't give up.
Don't give up on your dreams.
Keep pushing forward.
Keep pushing forward.
Keep seeking support.
Seek that support.
Keep believing in a brighter future.
Keep believing.
Okay. We've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
Moved beyond the numbers.
Mhm.
Explored this broader context of U.S. immigration policy.
The political debates.
Yeah. The human stories.
The human stories.
But we're not done yet. Stay tuned for part 3 where we'll wrap things up
We will.
with some final thoughts, some insights on what the future holds for U.S. immigration.
Looking ahead.
All right, welcome back to the deep dive. We've gone through a lot.
We have.
All the twists and turns of this Visa Bulletin.
Mhm.
We've talked about what's shaping U.S. immigration policy.
Right.
And we've talked about how this whole thing really impacts people.
The human side of it.
Yeah, the human side. But now it's time to look ahead, right?
Okay.
What can we learn from all this? What does the future hold for U.S. immigration?
It's tough to predict.
Yeah.
So many factors involved.
It's like trying to predict the weather.
It is. It is. But if I had to guess, I'd say the demand for U.S. visas, both employment-based, family-based, it's going to continue to be higher than the supply.
Okay. So the waiting game
Yeah.
continues.
It likely will. Backlogs will probably persist. Those processing times, they can stay a source of frustration.
Okay, so not the news we want to hear, But are there any signs of potential changes? Anything that could make this whole process a little less painful?
Well, one thing to keep an eye on is technology.
Okay.
We're already seeing a shift
Yeah.
towards online applications, digital document processing.
Okay, so less paper.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
Less paper. And this could streamline things,
Yeah.
maybe speed up processing times.
Right.
Imagine you don't have to mail a giant stack of papers
Oh,
and wait months for a response.
that would be amazing.
It would be.
But technology can only do so much, right?
Right.
What about the big picture?
Yeah.
Any hints about policy changes that could really shake things up?
Well, the talk of immigration reform never really goes away.
It doesn't.
It's a tough issue.
It is.
Very political,
Yeah.
but it comes up again and again. Who knows? Maybe in the next few years,
Yeah.
we'll see some movement.
Okay.
It could be a game changer.
Right.
Addressing those backlogs,
Yeah.
streamlining the process,
Mm.
maybe even creating new ways for people to come to the U.S. legally.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
It would be.
But even if that happens,
I agree.
it's going to take time, right?
It will.
To see those changes.
To implement them, yeah. To feel the effects.
So patience,
Patience.
persistence,
Persistence.
still really important.
Still key. Yeah.
Okay. We've talked a lot about the technical stuff, the policy stuff, but I want to bring it back to the people. The individuals, the families.
Yeah.
Caught in the middle of all this,
Right.
what advice would you give them?
Don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams.
Okay.
The journey might be tough, it might be long,
Yeah.
but it can be worth it.
Okay.
Stay informed, stay organized,
Okay.
and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Right.
There are people out there, there are resources.
Yeah, there are. And it's a reminder that even though this feels really personal,
It does.
it's something that a lot of people are going through.
A lot of people are going through this
Yeah.
all around the world.
And that shared experience.
It can be a source of strength.
Yeah.
Connect with others. Share your stories, offer support, learn from each other.
We've reached the end of our deep dive.
We have
January 2025 Visa Bulletin.
a lot of information.
Yeah, we've decoded the numbers,
Okay.
explored the trends, talked about the human stories, but we're leaving you with one final thought.
Okay.
What do you think the future of U.S. immigration should look like?
Mm-hmm.
How do we make a system that's fair,
Yeah,
efficient, compassionate?
that's the question.
It is. It's a big question.
It is a big question.
And it's one that we all need to think about.
We do.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And keep those conversations going.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel US Immigration News. We hope you are doing great. Well, in today's video, we will be talking about key updates, January 2025 Visa Bulletin released. The January 2025 Visa Bulletin reveals some movement in both family-based and employment-based immigration categories. Although progress remains slower than many applicants would like, in employment-based categories, there were slight advancements. The EB2 category saw EB2 India move forward by 2 months to October 1st, 2012, and EB2 China advanced by 1 month to April 22, 2020. Other countries in the EB2 category also saw a 2-week advancement to April 1st, 2023 after no movement in December 2024. A slight progress in January offers some hope, and more movement in the EB2 category is expected by spring 2025 as more visas become available. The EB3 category saw India advance by 3 weeks to December 1st, 2012, and China move forward by 2 months to June 1st, 2020. Although the movement is a modest, more significant progress is anticipated in February and March 2025. The EB3 Other Workers category saw a similar slight advance, with India moving forward by 3 weeks to December 1st, 2012. Despite these positive changes, the EB3 category is expected to face a slower processing time throughout 2025, and applicants in the Other Workers subcategory may want to consider switching to the Skilled Workers category for faster processing. In family-based categories, there was more substantial movement. The F1 category for unmarried sons and daughters of US citizens saw a 1-month advance for the rest of the world to November 22, 2015, and a 1-week advance for the Philippines to March 8, 2012. The F2B category for unmarried sons and daughters for permanent resident advanced by 3 weeks for the rest of the world now May 22-2016. The F3 category, which includes married sons and daughters of US citizens, experienced notable movement, with Mexico advancing by 1 month to November 22, 2000, and the Philippines moving forward by 2 months to November 8, 2002. The F4 category for sibling of US citizens saw India advance by 1 month to April 8, 2006, and the Philippines move forward by 3 months to May 1, 2004. The national visa sectors has increased its capacity by onboarding more contractors to handle visa processing. This video is expected to help clear backlogs and increase the number of schedules introduced as more embassies and consuls process cases. Applicants can expect increased visa availability by spring 2025. While employment-based categories remain slow, family-based categories have seen more progress. Significant advancements are expected in 2025, with further movement anticipated by spring. Applicants should ensure their documentation is complete and up to date to avoid delays.